You told yourself there would be time. Another call, another visit, another chance to soften the sharp edges of silence. You thought tomorrow was certain, that the clock would always give you one more turn. But the moment came without warning, and now the words rot unsaid, echoing louder than any memory. You replay it in fragments. The last time you saw them, the last words you spoke. The details blur, but the absence is sharp. It cuts through you like glass, not because of what happened, but because of what never did. You never got to tell them how much they mattered. You never got to admit the anger, the gratitude, the forgiveness you carried but never shaped into speech. You never got to say goodbye, not the real kind, not the kind that empties the chest but leaves the soul lighter. And now you live with the weight of unfinished sentences. That is the cruelty of grief. It is not just loss, but interruption. The story stops mid-sentence, and you are left holding pages that will never be finished. At first you try to bargain with memory. You tell yourself they knew that love does not need words. You remind yourself of the small gestures, the quiet moments, the ways your presence must have spoken even when your mouth did not. But the doubt lingers, the silence lingers, because love unspoken does not disappear. It festers, it circles back at night, whispering, "Why didn't you say it? Why did you wait? Why did you believe there would always be more time?" And so you walk with a ghost, not only the ghost of them, but the ghost of yourself, the version of you who said the words, who reached out in time, who made peace before the end. That self lives only in imagination now, haunting you with the possibility of what could have been. This is the part no one prepares you for, not the funeral, not the empty chair, not the ache of anniversaries, but the endless rehearsals of conversations that will never happen. The way you speak to them in your head again and again, shaping the words as if repetition could make them real. But the silence does not answer. You begin to realize that closure is a myth, that goodbyes are never complete even when spoken, that grief is not a door you close but a shadow you learn to live beside. And yet, there is something else here, beneath the ache. The fact that you still long to speak, still ache to be heard, means the connection has not vanished. Death takes the body, yes, it takes the presence, but it cannot take the echo of love. That echo is why the unsaid words still burn. Perhaps they will never hear them. Perhaps the silence will never reply. But you can still speak. You can speak to the air, to the night, to the empty room that feels heavy with their absence. You can speak for yourself, not because it will change the past, but because it will free you from the prison of silence. The goodbye you never got to say will never arrive the way you wanted, but it can still arrive in fragments, in whispers, in rituals of memory, in the steady act of carrying their name without letting it rot in your throat. Because grief is not only about what you lost, it is about what remains. And even if your goodbye never reached them, the love behind it is still here, alive in you, unerasable, unbroken. So speak it, even now. Not because they will hear it, but because you need to. Because love unsaid does not vanish, it waits. And the only way forward is to finally let it leave your chest, trembling, late, imperfect, but yours.